We had a little scare there for a while, everybody. Looked like for a minute the highlight may not be back, but we got it taken care of. Justin Gaethje will be back for the first time since that epic fight at UFC 300. He will be back and taking on Rafael Fiziev. It looked like it was going to be Dan Hooker. Rafael
Supposed to be
Fiziev.
Dan Hooker. It was supposed to be, but it's a crazy game. We play a crazy game. Life's a trip. I'm ready to go.
How is it for you coming back? You took all that time off. You come back, and I'm sure you're putting your heart and soul into this training camp, getting ready for Dan. And then at the last moment, you change to Fiziev. I know you're a veteran and you've been down this path before, but given the special circumstances here, does that make it any more difficult for you?
No, I mean, especially coming off of a loss like that, it's been me against me this whole time. This fight is me against me. I got to go in there and believe in my skills, believe in my ability to win at the highest level, and so that's been the challenge this whole time. And I'm excited to get in there and do that on the biggest stage in the world.
What went through your mind when you made the decision to stay away for a while and rest your body? I know you've taken a lot of trauma over the years with, in your wins as well as in your losses and the way you fight, right? Yeah, that's why people love you, because of the way you sacrifice. But wait, did you ever consider, the Holloway fight being it?
No, 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 I ain't going out like that. If it happens again, I'm sure it'll be it. But
Yeah.
no, I think the human body is very resilient, and I think it needs time. And I took time. I took 6 months without getting hit. And I think we play the most violent sport in the world, but I don't think it's the most dangerous for that specific fact that we can take time in between these traumatic brain injuries. You see football players, stacking two on
Right.
top of each other in one season. You see boxers getting three in one night, and that's detrimental.
Yeah.
As far as we know, shit, one could be detrimental, but I feel pretty good right now. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
think,
good.
I think everything's, it's crazy, crazy ride that we've been on. But I think with time, the human body is resilient, and I think the 6 months I took off was very, very healthy for me and in my recovery.
When you look at yourself now going back, I know you're a competitor, so you still look at yourself as, number one, number two, champion level fighter. Do you still have that in your mind, or do you now look at this like this stage of your career as, hey, let's just pick off fights that I think are fun?
No, I mean, I'm definitely looking to fight the best fights in the world and the best guys in the world. I mean, if that's not the goal, then I have to be done here.
Hmm.
I have to commit to something else. But for right now, I mean, I've committed my whole life to this, and you know, the longer you've been a fan of the sport, the more you understand that anything can happen at any moment. And all it takes is you being in a position to make something happen or for something crazy to happen. And there's no reason why I should not believe that, I can put myself in that position and something, I can land that shot. I have to believe that. I have believed that since day one, and I've lost to guys I shouldn't have lost to, and I've beaten guys I shouldn't have beat. It's just, and I'm specifically talking about wrestling, and a lot of my lessons came from wrestling. As a kid and going through college, this sport's just a little bit crazier, but it's just really not much different.
Interesting. Now, I look at your last three losses, right? All three of those guys, Habib, Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway, you can make a case that they're, three of the 10 or 15 best fighters who ever lived, right? So it's
Yep.
not like you're getting beat by me or, somebody else, right? You're getting beat by the elite of the elite. So when you look at, and you're analyzing, okay, where have I gone wrong over the years? Is there any common thread that you can point to say, if I can change this, that's the final step that I can make to get myself all the way to the top?
I mean, I don't think I can say that. I think ultimately it's putting yourself in these positions and believing in your ability to succeed. You know, um, I think it's a testament that I came in 2017, fought the number five guy, and I have not dropped out of the top five in the
Right.
lightweight division since then. That's 8 years. Yeah, that's hard to do. You're not going to see a lot of guys that are going to stay, in the elite of such an elite division. I think it's one of the most elite divisions it has been through the history of the UFC. This is where a lot of the most average size of men fall when it comes to this sport.
Right.
And I think, I think that's something that I'm very proud of. That I've never, lost that world ranking of being the top five in the world. Obviously I've been higher and I've been lower, but I've never,
That's how.
I never been cast out.
Yeah. Like I know you like to play golf, and so I'm going to use a golf analogy. Ask you a question. Phil Mickelson heard that for such a long time, right? He was the best player in the world, never to win a major, and all those things that went on. And people, question him: Does he have the mental fortitude? Does he have whatever? And then as soon as he won one, all of a sudden he won, five or six majors, and he became to a different level. Do you feel like that type of thing could happen to you? Like once you get over the hump, it's like, hey, look out, what I may be able to accomplish in the future.
Man, those golfers are lucky. They got to take like fifth place twice in a year and they're successful. So it's such a
Yeah.
different sport. But I think the lesson there is what confidence can do for the mind. Getting one, you know, winning one tournament and then coming through and winning many more was just him believing in himself. So, this sport is so much different. There's not as many variables when it comes, and it's not as dangerous, to play golf. But
Right.
yeah, like I said, those guys don't even have to win to be successful, which is pretty crazy. But that's why I would trade my skills with the golfer in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, you can play golf till you're like 65 and make quite a bit of bank.
Yeah, I got 14 years to qualify for the seniors, so that's
Yeah,
where we're
there you
going.
go. What about DC? Give us the scoop on DC. Is there any chance in what is DC now, 40 something? Any chance he's going to be on the senior tour in a couple years?
No, no chance, no chance. DC is gonna be the best wrestling coach in the nation
Okay, there we
for
go.
kids.
Hey,
Certainly no
let's
golf.
go back.
I think he can do celebrity golf because he's such an interesting character and he's so fun. But he can't even play in competition because he can't help but cheat. He's a cheater.
Whoa,
So
whoa, that's a
he,
big allegation.
it's not an allegation. These are facts. I would never, I would never come with allegations. I've seen it with my own eyes multiple times.
We're gonna have to call John Anik on this one. Get him involved.
Oh, he'll confirm. Unless he'll get beat up by him. But I can run fast enough and long enough to get away from DC. So I can say it.
There we go. That's very funny. Let's go back. We got a couple more minutes to Rafael Fiziev fight on in 2023 UFC 286. Kind of a funny picture came out today of both of you after that with your faces similarly kind of beaten up. What do you remember about Fiziev, and did he surprise you that day with how good he was?
I mean, I think my coach did a really good job at making me understand how unique his striking is, and we really, worked a lot of days on how different it would be compared to a boxer or even a kickboxer. I mean, he's been doing this his whole life, and his ability to hold position and create leverage in his shots was very special, and it was
Mm-hmm.
it was dangerous. He's going to be just as dangerous this fight. I think that my ability to push the pace and make him tired was ultimately why I was so successful in the third round. And I have to rely on that again, especially with how hard I've been working. I believe I can sprint for 15 minutes here, and that has to be part of the game.
He's that loss. He got injured in the loss to Mateus Gamrot, the fight after he fought you. But he comes into this fight as a $1.40 favorite at DraftKings, and I wonder, will wrestling be a factor in this because wrestling seemed to be a problem for him against Gamrot. Do you ever see
Yeah,
yourself even using your wrestling against him?
I think your guess is as good as mine there, Kevin. I always plan on it, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's like funny. I asked that question because I kind of know where it's going to go, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be awesome if I go out there and, I mean, obviously the last interaction we had in the cage was me taking him down. So I would think it would be a good idea to remind him that that's
We lost your mic there. There you go.
yeah. I think the last interaction we had was me taking him down, and I think it'd be a good thing to remind him that that's something that I got in my back pocket. It's something that I think would be probably pretty smart. We'll see. We'll see. People call me stupid, but I think I'm pretty smart. So we'll see. We'll see if I
Yeah,
don't
no,
get.
you're definitely very smart.
We'll see
Except
if
for
I
maybe
don't get
that
beat by 10.
DC line. That maybe I start to question you.
Nah, hey, I'm telling you. So he's if he was better at cheating, we wouldn't know. He was so last time I played with him, he's up against the lip, and I'm like, he's not getting over that. I look back, and now he's 6 feet back, and you go over there, and he just dragged the ball in the sand. So there's a line. Like if you would have picked it up and placed it over here, you would have, it would have been, plausible deniability. He could have gone that route. But there's a line in the sand where he just dragged the ball back. I mean, and
Well,
we're
listen,
playing for
I'm a
money.
DC fan. I think the ball might have hit and just started to roll very slowly, and that might have been the explanation for it.
Hey, I hope that you never bet money against DC in golf because you either have to fight your friend or let your friend cheat you. That's your only options. And I'm not, I respect my elders. I'm not going to fight him. And so I was like, I'm just going to let him, screw me here.
There we go. Well, let's hope you don't get screwed by the judges. Let's hope it is the kind of fight that everybody's expecting when you face Rafael Fiziev
Oh, yeah.
at UFC 313. Justin, I always appreciate talking to you, brother, and wish you the best of luck, my friend.
All right. Thank you, sir. Enjoy the show.
See you soon.
Later.
Be well.
Be well.